Hello everybody, my name is Matt DeMonico and I own Ascot Meats. Today we will continue our talk on how to pick out and make the perfect roast for the holidays. Previously we talked about the beef tenderloin roast, but today we will feature the prime standing rib roast, or also known as the king of roast, my personal favorite. The prime rib is a very succulent, extremely rich, flavorful, but yet tender roast that will make your guest feel extra special. Whether you decide to do boneless or your traditional bone-in like so, there's nothing better than a slow roasted prime rib that is beautifully marbled. The rib section consists of ribs 6 through 12. As you will see later, ribs 6, 7, and 8 of the meat is more marbled and has a smaller muscle. Choosing your prime rib is extremely important. I highly recommend going to a butcher shop like ourselves that offers quality USDA certified prime beef. Remember, the word prime alone only describes the most desirable part of the rib section. It does not guarantee the quality or grade of the meat itself. Aging the meat is also an important factor to consider. Most places like ourselves wet age the beef for a minimum of 21 days. This naturally breaks down the enzymes of the meat to make the muscle softer. When ordering from your butcher, have him remove the excess fat. As I'm going to show you here, the prime rib can be a little wasty. Do figure roughly about 3/4 of a pound per person when ordering, if trimmed properly. Every rib weighs roughly 2 to 3 pounds each. So for example, this 3-rib prime rib weighs about 7 pounds total weight, which would serve roughly about 8 adults. Now have your butcher loosen the bone away from the meat like so. As I'm doing here, I'm going to remove some of the fat. A lot of cat meat on this smaller end here. By loosening the bone away from the meat, this will make it much easier for carving when done cooking. You will still retain the flavor from the bone, and it also will protect the meat around the bone to make it more juicy. And we'll want to tighten it up with a few strings here, like so. And one more just to tighten it up, like so. Okay. As far as preparing the roast, once again, keep it simple. A good piece of meat doesn't need to be dressed up. A spice rub mixture like so works quite well. I myself would start by rubbing or brushing it with a garlic butter all around and then using the spices. Final step, the cooking. You'll want to leave the meat out at a room temperature prior to putting in oven. Put the roast like so in your roasting pan. Now as you can see, the bone will act as a rack. Now this serves two purposes. One, it allows the drippings to seep into the meat, and then two, it also allows air flow under the meat to cook more consistently. Preheat your oven to a 455 degrees. Cook for a minimum of 30 minutes depending on the size roast. This will sear all the juices in the meat itself. After that time, drop it down to a 325 degrees and then figure roughly 15 minutes per pound. So once again, this 7-pound roast would take about a total time of about a good 2 hours. Now your internal temperature for the roast should read about 130 degrees. Let it rest for a minimum of about 20 minutes. Cut strings like so. And then cut to desired servings and enjoy. Once again, a very wonderful dinner with family. It is one roast you and your family will not forget. Now next week and final roast we will explore is the very festive crown pork roast. Thank you.